Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Living World of Darkness, the Kingdom of Apples, the Changeling venue. Tonight's episode starts off with Sir Rook Thorn ap Gwydion in the open training ground of Home Fires. He's been in the Kingdom of Apples, moved here from the Kingdom of the Burning Sands for a few months now. And he's been looking for a purpose, looking for a household to serve, and that journey hasn't really been fulfilled yet. So he's taking a break from it, using the training ground to sort of get his frustration out.
Astria, who they haven't been around home fires too much. They've really been mostly handling the barony in school and assorted other social things in his life. He's going to stroll on in. If Rook cares to notice, he'll notice that Astria has green eyes right now as opposed to the red that they had when they first met.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's still flashing.
And they're going to grab a training sword and they're getting ready to start up themselves.
Now, I've never met Estrella.
Rook's met him.
When?
At the Foul Place with Yorick.
Yeah. Okay.
Although the demeanor is admittedly wildly different at this point.
Mm-hmm. He won't give you. He'll sort of give you a wider berth. Doesn't want to get in your way. Doesn't want to get in the she's way.
Okay. Actually, no, I'm not. Do I need a roll to figure that out, or no?
If you want to.
Sure,
I'll just roll.
fine.
Roll Fanny and see what happens. Oh, okay. Cool. So we have to further the scene a little bit. In a very, very gentle voice, Rook will just hear, "This isn't just my training ground, you know."
Don't feel like bothering anybody.
That's fair enough. You don't need to cross the street when you see me coming.
My mentor in Burning Sands had a very different idea. I don't know if I've talked about that much.
I don't think you've mentioned it very much.
No.
Your name was Rook, right?
Yeah. So Rook Thorn. Ask Gwydion.
All right. Do you have a honorific that you prefer?
Rook is fine. You outrank me.
Maybe so, but I know that there's a lot of people that see weight in formality and tradition.
As do I. You outrank me. You may call me what you wish.
Okay then, Rook. Tell me, how are you enjoying your stay thus far?
This kingdom is different. When I was young.
Ooh, sorry. Go ahead and finish.
When I had just begun this life, its existence. My mentor instilled in me a duty. Trifle not in the affairs of she, for they are subtle and more important.
I think a lot of she would agree with that.
You serve the dreaming more readily than I do.
That's, well, we're all here. The way I see it, she'll shrug. We're all in this together. And I think trying to lift one person up above everyone else, by virtue of simple birth and not merit, well, I've seen it just lead to some interesting things.
I'll not argue with you. It's not my place.
But you think differently nevertheless, right?
My thoughts are mine. Yes. But I haven't been asked to express them.
Fair enough, I won't make you do that. I think it would run antithetical to literally everything I've been saying prior.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. Your will is your will.
What does the Fire's training ground look like? I actually don't even know.
I don't know either. We're making it up right now. There's basically what I understand,
Okay.
there's a few different training rooms in home fires, considering. I imagine this one's got a rather large room, racks of different mock weaponry, probably a couple of sparring rings, and more than a few mannequins to test your form with. Or do you need more than that?
Yeah, that's good enough. I was wondering if outside or inside was mainly what I was looking for.
Okay, yeah. In this case, let's just go with...
Presumably inside if there's weapons hanging around.
yeah, inside.
So I can't come riding up. Vlad ducks his head under the doorway and comes striding into the room. It's the first time he's popping his head up in a while. I don't think do I need to give a description?
Rook's never seen him.
Okay. I was wondering if you out of character remembered how he looked like. He's large. He's about the size of a small troll. He's about 6.5 feet tall. And he's big. It's not lanky. He's quite big. In both the gray, gray world and his family. His hair in both is silver, like not gray, like actually shiny, reflective silver, as are his eyebrows, and in his Fabian, so is his rather massive beard. In both, his face is rather scarred, particularly so in Fabian. and he's hairy. Like, he's wearing a black tunic with what looks like a gold sun crudely finger painted on it. And chest hair and back hair spill out over it. And there's, as I said, his face is rather scarred. There's a big cut over one eye. His eyes are rather blue, and he's got a large sword in his back.
Is he wearing any obvious markers of his station and or any house affiliations?
He is, but it's not unless you have very, very high changeling or she-lore. You're unlikely to recognize it because it's one of the lost houses. He's wearing a black. He's dressed all in black, and there is a large golden sun crudely finger painted on the front. He's wearing a necklace of amber. Also, it's worth noting his features are very crude. Like, they're not refined. He doesn't look much like a she, although he's probably one.
Would I be able to still roll for it, or nah?
Asked him, but my understanding is, like, to even know the unseelie houses, let alone the lost ones, like the normal unseelie houses is like a changeling lore 4 or she lore 4. To even know their names.
Yeah, I personally think that's a tad high.
That's what it says on my sheet, apparently. I don't know.
Yeah, that was an old guard thing. I need to actually talk with them about restructuring the lores, but I mean,
You're called.
playing a character.
I'm indifferent. He actually does broadcast it.
Yeah, like,
and he's been around a while at this point, and he's prominent. Like, he does have reputation.
Actually, that's true. Does Rook have politics?
Yeah, he does.
He can go ahead and roll intelligence politics.
Sweet.
To see who this guy is.
Hooray. 3 dice.
You want me to roll them for you?
Yeah, because it won't show up, so I don't want you to, like, you know.
All right. Ooh. Damn.
Yeah.
Nothing. I'm not going to roll dice for people anymore. I've been, like, failing consecutively for people.
Hey, don't worry about it.
Yeah. And he's not dressed particularly richly. Like, his tunic is it's like not a high quality wool. It's coarse. He's got some furs about him. And as I said, it's his features are crude. He's got like a huge jaw, heavy brows, big nose, kind of deep set eyes with an epicanthic fold, like Asian eyes. Like, those eyes are blue. You know,
All right.
one of his ears is cauliflowered.
Oh, Vlad walks in. Astria will look over to him and just say, "Good evening, Vlad. How are you?"
Hey, Astrea. Pretty good. I have some time I cannot recall, but it's that time of year. I woke up in Florida.
The fuck?
Yeah. I don't know. Things happen.
Well, I hope you're okay. I just said I hope you're okay.
Yeah, no, I seemed pretty cool. I had some burns on my arms and hands. But
I woke up almost eviscerated.
Well, that was one crazy Yom Kippur. No one watches Drawn Together. You're missing out. Good show.
As a she are talking, Rook will adopt a sort of militant stance. Feet shoulder width apart, back straight, shoulders sort of stiff, arms held loosely behind his back.
He's a troll, right?
He is a troll, and he is looking as though he is not paying attention to this conversation at all. But he is not. It's not like he's ignoring you. It's more of a. These are she talking.
Yes. Vlad goes up to him with a hand outstretched. Good we've met. I'm Vlad.
Nice to meet you, Vlad. And he will hold his hand out and grasp the she by his forearm, dipping his head slightly.
Pleasure. What's your name?
Taking his hand back, he will adopt the militaristic stance again. I am Sir Rook Thorn. I am Gwydion.
Oh. That's cool, I guess. You just come on the Marines or something?
No, sir. I am... I moved here from the Kingdom of Burning Sands. And if anybody wants to give empathy...
Sure, why not? That sounds fun. Let's do that.
Perception, empathy.
Hey, there's one. Wait for Vlad to get his before we get results.
I think I botched.
Yeah, this is going to be fun.
Vlad, he's telling you the whole truth, not but the truth, so help him God. He's telling the truth, but there's something more to it.
All right, he's leaving some shit out. Oh, shit, I got a little curiosity.
Oh, I like Arizona. That's pretty cool.
Texas.
Cool, too.
Don't mean to correct you, sir.
I'm not, sir. You don't report to me.
You are a she.
I sure am.
Me.
Although some of the other she don't agree with you. Sad. I might be their great-great-great-great-grandfather. Kids these days.
Very interesting, sir.
Oh, not particularly, no.
But if you two would like me to vacate the premises so you may use it properly, I will be happy to do so.
Nah.
It is not my training ground.
Same here. I've got my own. I was supposed to, I don't know why I'm here, actually. So how do you like New York?
It is it's very different from what I'm used to.
What are you used to?
Discussions of political dissent are not commonplace where I come from.
Yeah, that's because you're run by a fascist over there. Well, that's cool. I mean, you know, everything will work itself out in time.
Fascism. Simply works the dreaming functions.
Yeah, the dreaming's working great these days.
There
Winter
are
is almost
common.
upon us. Autumn's getting colder. Glamour is harder to find. Things are great. Where's King David, by the way?
I have no idea.
No one does. It's been a couple of years. Another event in the chain of great things.
Again, it is not my place to trifle in the affairs of sheep.
For they are petty and quick to anger.
No. For it is above my place, sir.
Oh, okay. You never struck one down in battle?
I have faced a few. But because I was commanded to,
Oh, okay.
I would not dare to raise my hand against any she unprovoked.
Okay. So what do you do here?
As of now,
Yeah.
nothing.
You looking for work?
I'm currently unsane. A few months away from that date. I've moved here in search of a household to serve.
There's less Gwydion around than there were.
I've heard that.
There are a few. Count of Manhattan is Gwydion, is he not, Astoria?
Yep.
Hold on, let Tim roll this.
Let me just. Sorry, guys. Want to pour awkward gasoline on the awkward fire?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think he's always looking for guys to serve him. The other Gwydion count tried to aid genocide, so he, and he killed some kids. So he's no longer reigning in.
I've heard that as well.
Yep.
The way you treat your Adhene are very different.
Well, it's funny you should say that. My take is this. I was totally cool being at war with them and killing them. But killing them in war and genocide are two different things. And once you make peace or even ceasefire, okay, we're all creatures of the dream. Who's breathing like that?
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, I was wondering what that was. I thought Tim was stifling laughter.
Okay.
No, never mind.
No, I was busting up that entire time.
I'm saying, so it's one thing to kill them in war, but once we made peace, I mean, I don't believe in separate but equal.
Well, again, it is not my place to argue.
I mean, what if I asked you to?
If you ask my opinion.
I am asking your opinion.
Baron, am I also free to share my opinion within your ears?
Shoot, bro beans. How did Rook respond to bro beans? Astria did that on purpose.
He just sort of raised an eyebrow and stands again. Personally, with a few individuals who have shown otherwise, their existence seemed to be a danger, not only to the gray world, but those that inhabit it as well. They present difficulties adjusting to this lifestyle, and difficulties that make their existence obvious. And we are but a hop, skip, and a jump away from them. Discovery of their existence may very well lead to the discovery of ours.
I think
Disagree with you to a great extent, but I mean, we made peace. So what would you have us do now?
I know, at least on my end, I have a certain initiative I'm going to put in place, at least for Northern Manhattan. You are right. The Atine do have a lot of difficulty adjusting here. And I think that it is our job as people that are better adjusted to show them the ropes. There are a few that have, for sure, but not everyone is quite as lucky as those others.
No, it's true, but you know, I'm interested in hearing from Rook, Mr. I mean,
Sorry.
What if you were king, Rook? You are setting policy. We've made peace already. How would you have us proceed?
Well, this is unfamiliar territory for me. I was born not to lead, but to serve.
And you are going to serve, in this case, by leading. You're serving your people. You're serving Concordia. What is best for Concordia?
Were my decision, seeing as we have made peace, and neither side seems to wish or can afford war at this moment. It would be best to require the Adhene that wish to venture into the gray world to be able to show a level of proficiency with its customs.
It would be best, but how we're going to make that a policy? Are we going to enforce it? What law binds them?
Have their own laws behind them. I know of one warlord by name of Kalash. Gather the warlords of their tribe. Have them require of their tribes certain proficiency before they journey forth.
How are you going to require the warlords to require it? We made a white peace. We were not victorious. Neither were they.
Do we currently trade with them?
Not particularly.
We do not trade dross. We do not exchange services or goods within the tribes.
Not to a great extent. I have greater truck with them than most, and my truck with them is limited to enforcing the law in my, land.
And I suppose it would be up to you now, wouldn't it?
It is. See, what I said is, I don't care what your background is, and I don't have too many rules where I am. You follow my rules, or I'll kill you. Otherwise,
Seems reasonable.
yeah, exactly. I don't care your court, I don't care your kith. I don't care if you're Talain or Adheen or Galain or Kitane or Canaan. If you're of the dreaming, you're welcome until you break the rules. And then I'll kill you. Seems to work pretty well.
Yeah, you would kill beings of the dreaming not out of defense for yourself.
Yeah, I'm pretty free and easy with the killing.
Does that not go against the very foundations of these sheep?
I'm not silly.
The sheet is a concept of Sealy law. I believed it was a law set down by the dreaming for all.
Lots of people believe lots of things. We have our own interpretation of the sheet.
I see.
It's a good series of guidelines. Out of character, I'm just trying to pull it up. Which rule is killing against?
Right of life.
I've ridden to rescue more Cathay and creatures of dreaming and Chimera than most Fae I know about. Estrella can testify to that. Sometimes you have to cut off a diseased limb to save the body.
So what is it that stops you? I see my mentor was right.
Vlad smiles. See? Go on and ask your question. What stops me?
It is not my affair to trifle in the matters of she.
What if the affairs of she threaten the dreaming? Isn't it your duty to do so? Not just your place, your obligation.
That is a very dangerous question to ask.
I'm good at those. I don't lie or bullshit.
Speaking plainly, sir, your actions in themselves could be construed to be dangerous to the dreaming.
Many have said so.
Then what is it you wish to do? I may ask.
When winter comes, and come it will, and it's close at hand, I want us to be ready. I want to have us organized and prepared.
And what
I want to fight, and I want to win, and I want there to be a spring.
spring comes as it does in the Grey World.
We haven't had spring in millennia.
Maybe we have not done much to deserve it.
That's what I say. Some might say that's a dangerous sentiment.
Fair enough. What of the human side of things, Vlad?
What do I want the human side of things?
You are not just one being. You are not just this person here within Home Fires. Our existence is one of balance. It is a necessity to be balanced.
I'd rather burn out than fade away. When I'm not quoting 80s movies, by the way, which I love. Highlander fucking kicks ass.
It does. It does.
When
But
I'm
I
not,
give you fair warning.
yeah, I live my life to inspire others.
I give you fair warning then, Vlad. Within this dreaming, it is my purpose to serve. Outside of the dreaming, it is my purpose to serve and protect the people of that city.
Sure.
And I will do so.
You are free to do what you like. It is America. God bless it. I play hockey in the gray world. Play
I'm
for
a
the
detective
Rangers.
for the NYPD.
I kind of figured. When you said you weren't just out of the Marines. It reminded me of one of my barons. He's fresh out of the Marines. Interesting guy.
My father served. He raised me to have a very clear understanding of the law. However, his understanding was quite different than what I thought it to be.
So did you vote for Trump?
The election didn't happen here.
Yeah, I think that's a OOC. I think that's a subject we should avoid.
Yeah, that's yeah, no, that
That was an in-character question, but okay.
No, I know.
like
No, I know.
on an in character level in the setting to avoid the salt fest.
Okay, fair. Yeah,
We
Yeah.
Strike the question.
Cheney,
From the record.
Cheney's still president. You can bring up some shit about Cheney.
Yeah, let's bring up some shit about Cheney. Fucking birdshot motherfucker.
Shady. Yeah. I don't know. My father served too. So did my mother. Served on another side. I'm an immigrant here. Came when I was 13. Quite like it. People don't realize how good they have it here.
Well, yeah.
You might want to look up one of my barons, by the way. You're one of the boys in blue and a blue boy. So is he. Great
That
guy.
would make you count, would it not?
It might.
I see. Then is this a command?
Pardon? It's a command? No, you just said you might enjoy talking to him.
What is your name, if I may ask?
My name or his? Sorry, my hearing's actually pretty bad in real life.
His name.
Oh. It's Fred Chapman.
I might have a discussion with this Fred Chapman.
Yeah. You'd know him as Chieftain Surtur Bloodforged.
Fair enough.
And if you have, do you have troll lore?
I do.
He was one of the leaders of the Fourth Troll Comet. He was an Accordance War commander and veteran.
For which side?
The Fourth Troll Comet.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Let's see.
He's I forget where his beat is, but he's a good guy. He's done his job for 35 years more.
I shall look him up.
Yeah. By the way, don't feel awkward. I just like stirring the pot a little bit. It keeps things fresh.
I can understand. Stagnation is damnation to our kind.
Exactly. Change is good.
Not all change.
Hmm?
Change where change is necessary. Change for change's sake can be dangerous.
Necessary is in the eye of the beholder.
Fair enough.
It's the difference between bad and evil. Bad is relative. Evil is absolute.
But no one truly believes they are committing evil.
Yeah, that's not true. On occasion, some people do. They know it. Sometimes they think it's the lesser of evils. Sometimes they're even right. Often, even. Other times, they just don't fucking care. I mean, you're rarely going to get some, like, cackling Sauron casting dark sorceries to end the world, going, you know, babbling, you know, and cackling with laughter. It's more complex than that. As it should be. Well, you know, if you always knew the outcome to a story, how exciting could it possibly be? How funny could it be?
I see your point.
I mean, look, this is the way I see it. Everyone should be free to be who they are, to express themselves as they want to do it. Until it runs into, you know, someone else's fundamental rights. Their life or liberty. You know? My fist's freedom stops at your nose. Something like that. I don't remember the exact saying. No, it's to me, there's no greater crime than denying someone the right to be who they are. It doesn't matter if your intentions are good. It doesn't matter if you're thinking, in the big picture, gradual change is better.
He nods.
Here. I'll ask you this. You're a patriotic American, yes?
My family has lived in the States for at least 3 generations.
All right. And your father served. I mean, would you say that if 1,000 of our citizens were held captive by another country, it would be worthwhile going to war over?
That would have to depend on who these citizens were.
Anyone. Just normal people.
How many lives would we lose in this conflict? How many lives would we lose in this conflict?
Doesn't matter.
It does.
It's everything is right and wrong a matter of calculus and arithmetic? It would be right to go to war if we only lost 5 lives to save those 1,000, but if we were to lose 2,000, it wouldn't be worthwhile? What about the principle? Don't we owe our citizens a duty to protect them?
We do. To protect them within the boundaries of the law.
Right,
And
within the boundaries of the law. We would declare war.
I believe you gave me permission to speak freely.
Yeah, please.
I was not finished. We protect our citizens within the boundaries of the law and the safety of the rest of our citizens. You cannot ask a question about war without first discussing the possibility of loss versus gain. To do so would be irresponsible.
I disagree.
Irrational.
I think you and I will fundamentally disagree on that point. But I like that. I respect. Go ahead. No, sorry. Out of character, you're lagging, so I keep cutting you off.
You have an apple orchard. Your kingdom thrives on these apples. Your economy is the basis of these apples. They're used to make cider. They are used to trade for other goods. If you did not have these apples, your kingdom would starve. One of your groves has come down with rot. What do?
Cut it down. Burn it down. I mean, if I can't just spray it.
You would burn them down, cut them down?
I mean, I try to, if it's reasonable to save, I'll save it.
Right. So there is a thought to loss versus gain, correct?
People aren't apples.
No, but people run an economy.
But some things are more than dollars.
Yes. Their jobs, their livelihoods, their families.
What respect would they have for their country or their government if it wasn't willing to protect them and their interests?
You seem to think that these 1,000 people are within the minds and hearts of every citizen.
They don't have
And
to.
their family. But they are, in your mind.
No. The whole point is that, again, everything is a matter of perspective, right? It's a valuation of values, I think, is how you say. The point for me is that the right thing to do is to go to war. If you've exhausted the other options, even if it costs 10,000 lives, to save those 1,000, you go to war.
10,000 lives.
Principle that matters.
10,000 lives.
Sure.
10,000 workers. 10,000 fathers, mothers, brothers.
Yeah.
Sisters. Families.
Grandfathers, grandmothers, children, whatever.
Families torn apart.
Yeah.
For 1,000.
Yeah.
Now I'm coming to see that we are on very different sides of the spectrum, Cal Vlad.
Just Vlad. Title doesn't mean anything. What matters is if people are willing to follow you, if they want to follow you.
And if you lose these 10,000 lives, what makes those families that you have torn apart respect you, want to serve you?
It's part of the compact. The idea is they know that if they were one of the 1,000, we would go after them too. And we would let everyone else know in the world that we would go after them. I mean, if you believe in right and wrong, I do.
I believe in right.
Isn't something right regardless of the cost? Or is it just a matter of arithmetic? That's why we respect people who do the right things, even when it costs them everything.
But see, then you are commanding others to give up their lives.
I don't command. I lead.
But you are.
No, I lead from the front. You can ask Estrella. If anyone wants to come along with me, they're free to do so.
See, that's where I fundamentally misunderstood you.
How can you ask anyone to do something you're not willing to do yourself?
And if no one were to stand beside you, would you still go?
Absolutely. Ask Estrella. I go every time.
If he's looking at her, she will say, he does tend to go.
Like C.S. Lewis, Rook?
Hmm?
Like C.S. Lewis.
C.S. Lewis? Yeah.
You read the Narnia series?
I was raised in a Roman Catholic household. Of course I did.
There is a... There's a quote I like. There's many quotes I like. For this is what it means to be a king. To be first in every desperate attack, and last in every desperate retreat. And when there's hunger in the land, as must be now and then in bad years, to wear finer clothes and laugh louder over a scantier meal than any man in your land.
Say that again? I didn't hear you.
This is what King Loon, in A Horse and His Boy, tells Shasta and Kor. For this is what it means to be a king. To be first in every desperate attack, and last in every desperate retreat. And when there's hunger in the land, as must be now and then in bad years, to wear finer clothes and laugh louder over a scantier meal than any man in your land.
I can respect that.
He nods. You have some interesting ideas about she, but I'd say most she have forgotten who they are or who they're meant to be. They're not meant to be nobility or nobles. They're meant to be leaders. Wearing fancy clothes and going to balls doesn't make you a leader. Talking out of both sides of your mouth like a politician doesn't make you a leader. Leading and having people want to follow you, that makes you a leader.
I see. So you're
King
a fan.
Sorry.
You are a fan of leadership, correct?
I'm a fan of many things, but sure. I'm a fan of leadership.
C.S. Lewis. C.S. Lewis spoke, wrote from a place of knowledge. He knew many things. Knew of war, and loss. Where he speaks in that sentence, that statement, is not incorrect. Neither are the words of Sun Tzu.
Sorry, out of character, couldn't hear that. Spencer?
Sun Tzu.
Oh, Sun Tzu, yeah.
When we speak of imagined battles, of anger, and the seizing of individuals, speak of arithmetic and gain versus loss, as opposed to doing the right thing. Remember, anger may in time change to gladness. Vexation may be succeeded by content, but a kingdom that has once been destroyed can never come again into being, nor can the dead ever be brought back to life.
Aren't some things worth your life?
Indeed they are.
So, stands to reason. Some things are worth more than just your life. They're worth many lives. Especially if those lives are willingly given.
One must be careful when that statement.
Absolutely. But, sorry, English is not my first language. It's sometimes hard for me to express myself. Would you not give up your life for if you could defeat the Fomorians once and for all?
Of course I would.
I think many people would. Not everyone.
But such a thing is outlandish to think. One life, whether sacrificed willingly or unwillingly, could not stop them.
It did once
Speaking of
before.
hypotheticals,
And some might say trolls and she and fairies are outlandish.
this is true.
But it's a world I see every day, and I choose to believe in. A lot of things are outlandish. Doesn't mean we stop fighting for them. I mean, the idea of truth, justice, and liberty for all is kind of outlandish. We know the hypocrisy. You don't have to look very far, very hard to see it.
I understand.
It doesn't mean it's not worth fighting for, and it doesn't mean it's not worth dying for.
I never said that.
No, I know you didn't say that, but just to make sure we're not talking past each other, because I think we are, right? I don't think you and I disagree about all that much, truthfully.
I don't think we disagree much about the ends. I think we have a few key differences where it comes to the meat.
Yeah. Diversity is the spice of life.
Fair enough.
I mean, if you want, you can live your life in your own little bubble. That's cool too. But you're not going to change the world that way. And you very well may not even change your own small little piece of it.
Who says I'm living in a bubble?
No, I'm not saying you're living in a bubble. I mean, you've come to New York. You know, by definition, it's be very hard to live in a bubble here. Beyond, the tiny fucking apartments.
Tiny fucking apartments indeed.
I call them coffins. They're just big enough to lie down in.
When Rook curses, he actually looks over at Estrella really quick, and then sort of does a quick like.
Vaughn doesn't appear to be smiling, but his eyes are smiling.
And then
So after he swears, he's basically checking with Astrea.
almost, but it's almost like a. Oh wait, no, he told me to call him Baron.
I mean, like, if it looks like he's looking for a check, Astrea's just going to say pretty much this. Fuck, shit, goddamn, pussy, dick, balls. And she'll nod.
Oh, you guys are fucking amateurs. Bloody vaginal belch.
I mean, I wasn't trying to make it a contest, but
Yeah, because you'll lose.
Oh, damn. And then he left the hangout.
Oh shit. We'll give him a few seconds before continuing.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know if he's still here. Whatever.
Oh, hold on.
I'll put it in here. Technical difficulties. Thank you all.
Yep, he's back, though.
There we go. Hey Sam, you there?
Yeah, what was the last thing what's the last thing I said?
You lose.
You'll lose.
You'll lose?
Yeah.
Don't make that.
Oh, sorry. I said, sorry. Then he said, he rolled his shoulders back. He's like, it's actually getting pretty late, and I've got a game tomorrow, so I got to get to bed because I'm lame like that. But, come by to Brooklyn sometime. I've got my freehold down in a gym near Brighton Beach. We train Olympians and other champions. Lots of dreams there. Lots of gold medals. And a couple of Boggins got another freehold above some gastro pub or other hipster thing in East Williamsburg. And it's pretentious as fuck, but it's really fucking good, so worth coming to.
What's wrong with roasting a steak outside above a charcoal pit? I mean, why do you have to add all this extra bullshit?
See, that's what I agree with you. Like meat over a fire. It's not. It's pretty good.
It's good for our ancestors.
Now that you make that comment, by the way, Vlad sort of looks like he could be an ancestor. Not a few. Like he looks like a proto-she, actually. He is like the Cro-Magnon of she.
Fair enough.
He actually looks like a tribal chieftain.
I mean, Rook comes from a kingdom where trolls compare the size of their horns, so...
Yeah. You should look up Fred Chapman at some point. You know, he fought in Vietnam and he fought in the Accordance.
Cool. Oh, well.
He's a senior detective, you know, detective, sergeant detective, or whatever, something.
We'll see.
Yeah, he's an
All right.
older guy. Anyways, Australia, it's been chill. If you guys ever want to match some steel or practice swords or something, let me know. Cruising for a bruising. He just gets this huge shit-eating grin.
I may take you up on that at some point.
Perhaps. And he will, he'll sort of do a half bow. Count Vlad.
Vlad gives a very deep and somewhat mocking bow. Like, disproportionately low. If you're going to use the title, it's Count Vladimir Vorikovic Tichibori. Actually, it's Knyaz Vladimir Vorikovic Tichibori, but translation is politically problematic, so whatever.
I will remember that.
Why? I have lots of titles. Vladimir is itself a title.
Just a
Russian
person.
is my name.
Personal pastime of mine.
Fun. Fair enough. Okay. Do you have a place to stay for the next while?
I do. I have an apartment.
All right. You have so you are actually your boys in blue. You're actually set up and employed and everything.
Right.
Okay. Cool. Here, he writes down his number on a scrap of paper that he pulls out of a back pocket. And it looks like they're part of a receipt, actually. And he just hands it to Rook. Here's my cell.
He'll pocket it.
Yeah. If you want, send me a text, and I'll capture your contact that way. But either way, we'll hang out soon. Mr. When you have a moment, be good to chat. There's some interesting shit going on.
Oh,
Yeah.
hit me up.
Yeah. Will do. Okay. Time to go. Oh, that's so cute. Gentleman, he touches his, tugs his forelock, and bounces. Take care.
All right. See you. After Vladimir leaves, after a while, Rook will turn to Estrella. Permission to continue speaking freely.
Go ahead.
I don't know if that man is dangerous, insane, or right.
A lot of people have been saying all of the above. He may be all of the above.
Why is this kingdom so obsessed with a progressive way of thinking. Is it
it's
so
not
wrong for commoners to serve and for nobles to lead?
I don't think that's the issue, in my opinion. I think the issue is when you don't have a choice in the matter.
What choice? Where are this kingdom's leaders? Where are its nobles? You stand before me and you are strong.
Am I? What I mean to say is, I don't do what I do because I've been born to do that. And I didn't really have that claim, nor was I really raised with that way of thinking. I ended up here because, well, I wanted to. One of my best friends, she was a satyr and a baroness. Although her circumstances are quite different from mine. She was thrust into her position. I strove to achieve mine.
With all due respect to Lainey, how is it she leads?
I can't comment on that. I am not a part of Candle Hill. I don't know how she runs things. All I know is how I run things.
How is it you run things?
I wasn't blessed with the ability to command crowds like our friend Vlad.
And
However, what I was blessed with was a good sword arm and a good head on my shoulders.
it's at this point that Rook will take out a carved pipe from his pocket. He'll take a bag out of his back pocket, sort of look to Estrella. Do you mind?
Oh, go for it.
Thank you.
It is much harder for people to get faith in me and follow me. I very much have had to lead by example since day one, honestly.
You know the rumors before I come here is this kingdom has within it a direct line to the throne of Concordia itself. Why is this kingdom so open? Why is it? I could not speak if I was being, unless I was being spoken to. At least when I was in the dreaming, my position outside was respected.
I can see why it's very jarring for you. In a lot of places, around a lot of energy, you'd be pretty. Your instincts would be correct. There are quite a few people that think as you do. I will admit, I chrysalis extremely late in life. I chrysalis when I was 18. It was only about a year and a half ago.
As did I. Mine was closer to 9 years ago.
Ah,
Well, wait, no.
I
Never mind. Never mind. Sorry, strike that. He's still insane.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was raised with the value that you don't get to be elevated to a certain position just because you had the right blood or you had the right ears. And he'll flick his own ears. You get your status, you get your respect by doing, by going out and earning that with blood, sweat, and tears every step of the way. It doesn't help that, well, Astria will kind of just look at his hands. It definitely doesn't help that there are others that Chrysalis had judged me before they really even knew me, so I had to work even harder just to get the recognition that I so sought. I suppose that since I Chrysalis, that if I were to turn my back on those experiences, I would be betraying a part of myself.
I've moved here for 2 months. Well, 3. I've been active within the kingdom for about 2. I've been looking for a household to serve. Yet, everywhere I turn, it seems to be not an issue. Many of the commoners here have the view of serve where you are needed. I find myself at a loss.
You're unsure of where to go?
Mm.
Well,
My house ties would have me go to the next highest queen and ask to enter his household. That is what protocol is asked. But the political atmosphere is telling me that that might not be the best case scenario.
well, at that point, it seems there may be a certain choice. Do you follow protocol and tradition, or do you go along with the circumstances of the moment? I think either choice is right in its own way, but I think that's up to you to decide what's more right.
Again, that is a hard question. You have so many events that are going on in this kingdom. The Daunting are becoming more of a nuisance than they once were. Your conflict with this being known as the Ice Worm has gone unresolved. And winter is coming. Pardon the aphorism.
No, it's fine. Things are definitely crazy around here. Although for me, they're just normal.
So where is it you could see me being of use the most? Baron.
Okay, I see. I'll admit, I've seen precious little of you. I think this is the second time I've seen you.
Mm-hmm.
You're a troll. I'll assume that you're at least semi-proficient in combat, on top of being a police officer. I think, however, you have another talent that you may be aware of it, you may not be. You're exceptionally well-spoken. Exceptionally so.
The mind is a weapon, and I intend to be suitably armed.
If you're so inclined, you could pursue a combative role. You could also do a lot of good being someone's check and balance. Someone's doing something silly, you remind them of that. Brawl, you're a rook, a castle. Steadfast, tall and strong.
Why do you think I chose a name? It's a gambit in chess. With rook, moves to replace the king, so that it may be protected in times of dire need.
See that? For sure. Not too big of a chess guy. Full shrug. But I see where you're coming from. If you're looking for a place, well, I know there's quite a few people that can use you. I know that Baroness Laney could. Vladar even his invite. I'm always looking for talent. But at the end of the day, when it comes to picking a household to serve, that's a personal thing. And well, it'll be down to you. Political circumstances of the moment or protocol and tradition. I will warn you, at least Vlad, myself, and Laney, all to varying degrees, have a reputation for not quite following the status quo. So I decided with any three of us, you would also be taking on some of those difficulties.
When we spoke of you hanging with Count Vlad, you said that you had a plan. I am running the risk of disobeying my previous mentor in asking this question. But what is that?
Well, I have known quite a few at Hain that have had difficulty adjusting. And the one thing that I have not seen anyone try to do, people try to beat information into them as the situation arises, but often then it's too late. I was thinking of just bringing on a teacher. I've scoped out a few different people I'd like to grab, but as much as I would like to, I don't have enough time. I've got my human things to deal with on top of running the barony. So I was thinking I could grab someone, work with them to establish a proper curriculum to help European get into the fold easier.
That would require something of a checks and balances, would it not?
Something like that. What I would want is for somebody to teach basic mannerisms, but not just that, essential laws and at least a baseline, so that way walking outside isn't nearly as dangerous as it needs to be. Well, isn't as dangerous as it is, rather. Sorry.
I have a right to exist. Right. To laugh. So, as this is one of my personal primary concerns, I think my choice is made for me. Regardless of the possible damnation I might face from my fellow housemates. The story of Greyhawk, Appaloomy, Aaron. I humbly ask, would you allow me to enter your household and serve you to the best of my ability?
Astria has a smile, and they say, Sir Rookthorn Apquidian, I'd be honored to accept you into my household to help me in my endeavors. Before you go and swear the oath, though, I'd like you to know exactly what you're getting into. So, for now, come on down Manhattan a little bit more. I could definitely use help with all the nitty and gritty aspects of running things. If you find things are to your liking, then we can go on a bit further. If you decide against that, then you can go ahead and go, and there would be no hard feelings. After all, personal choices and whatnot.
I find that's fair. I have a personal request.
Shoot.
As my prospective new liege, I ask a personal favor in that you allow me to enter into the next season of the Coliseum.
Only on the condition that you not die. He'll smile.
I don't plan on it.
Then you get to go.
Fair enough.
Well, considering that this is a thing, shall I take you around a tour of the barony?
Please.
Awesome. And Astria starts to lead Rook out of home fires, which is actually already in northern Manhattan, funnily enough.
Funnily enough.
If Ismay wants to show up, she can.
As you guys leave, you see Ismay kind of pacing back and forth.
Astria stops. Ismay?
Ahlan, oh, good, Adria. I've been looking for you. Um, and she comes forward a few steps, and then she sees somebody that she doesn't recognize, and she stops and goes very upright.
Ismay and Rook have met.
Yes, but she doesn't know how you feel about things or people being overly, what's the word, un not taking the role of Baron as a strict kind of thing, and she wasn't expecting to see him with somebody when she heard that he was here.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, "Oh, you're not alone." Um, I hello, Baron Astria. I ran into her. I saw her. I talked to her. Um, and she's kind of wringing her hands overly excitedly.
Astria will kind of look to Rook right quick and say, I don't know if I'll need to yet. I might need to switch languages for this. Is that okay with you if that happens?
He just sort of shrugs.
Okay. Astria looks back over
And
this way.
he will adopt that stance again, and he will turn to where his side is facing away from the two, but he can still see Ismay.
Yeah. Astria will, still in English, they don't have a need to switch yet. He'll look at his man and say, so who did you meet? You seem rather excited or spooked. Not sure.
Yes. The she, she kind of takes a nervous step towards the other Fuad. I saw her. I talked to her.
You mean
Nosehorn.
Nosehorn?
Yes. I saw her.
And what did you think?
And she did not eat me. I am very happy.
Oh, right, she's a snake.
But I am going to help her with something, and then she
Is
will
this
be my friend too. And we will be taking maybe another with us. I'm not sure who entirely. I know we are asking him, but I don't know if he's going to accept. And I don't know. It is a long trip,
Let me guess.
but
It's Nosehorn's dreaming trip, and you both want to ask Kalash if he wants to come with as well?
and she looks like totally floored, like how. And she just kind of nods very meekly at that point.
Ashray nods. Sorry, I have heard about this plan of Nosehorns in the past. It makes sense that she'd want you and Kalash along with.
Oh. Okay. She did not eat me. And she smiles broadly and nods excitedly.
That's good.
I see you are busy. And hello, Mr. Rook.
Ismay.
I was nearby and they said that you were here, so I was going to come and share the news with you because you are my friend. So I will.
Awesome. I'm glad to know you're talking with your people again. It must have been. I mean, I know Kalash was here, but it's. I can see that it can be lonely sometimes. I remember when I was the only members of my house around for a while. That was boring.
Yes, it can be very lonely. We do not
Um,
like being alone. I will not bother you. I know you are busy with Mr. Rook. I can tell by how he is standing. So I will let you.
Hold on. Astria looks at Rook. And if we have a +1 while we take a walk around?
Rook will turn around. If that is your wish. And it is your barony, not mine.
That's fair, but I am taking you around to get a look at it.
I'm the one that just asked to serve you.
Ismay gives you a quizzical look to Estrella.
Oh, Rook here, he has made the decision to serve in my barony, and through extension myself.
Oh. And she gets a. She looks like she wants to ask a question, but she's pretty sure it's not something she can ask. So she just kind of stands there and nods a little bit.
You can,
Okay.
you can go ahead and shoot if you like. I feel like you're curious.
And she takes a couple steps up really close and leans up into his ear, into Astria's ear. Does that mean he will be another mate of yours?
No. No. It's not like that. Not even remotely.
Oh, okay. And he becomes a bit more chipper again and bounces back a couple steps. You will probably see me wandering around up here a lot, Mr. Rook. I wander around a lot when I am not working or reading. There's a nice park that is good for reading, though.
Wait, which park?
And she points at a park
As,
a few blocks
as
away.
Rook also sort of perks up at that.
It's probably not a park that's good for reading, but thus far when she's been reading there, nobody's bothered her, so...
All Julian cares about is at Central Park.
No, it's one much closer than that.
The Central Park, Julian was going to have some serious words.
No, she knows not to go there. As much as she wants to.
And I think Rob's going to have to make a gossip post on the set page.
Mm-hmm.
She does stand outside of it and just kind of look longingly at the foresty tree portions that are more wild than stuff, but she doesn't go in Central Park, ever.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. God. The character here. Don't want to be an SD. Don't want to be an SD. Don't want to be an SD.
I got you, bro. I got you.
No, she points in to the east or west to a park that's nearby.
Oh, like in home fires. Ah, okay.
Not in home fires. She doesn't like to go in there. She feels
We're
very out of
on
place.
our way out.
Okay.
We will respond with. I actually know of a few other places that are a lot better for reading. Okay, well, anywhere is a good place to read, except underwater, or in a volcano, or a snowstorm, or a sandstorm. Okay, let me take that back. Not everywhere. But a good amount of places. Austria nods. Definitively. Well, and Astria starts to walk forward, turns back to the two of them. We're off to see the wizard?
Which one?
It's a reference, is me.
Oh, to which one?
Wizard of Oz?
Your plan, Estrella? Consider this a first bit of advice. Popular culture.
Yep. That's going to have to go on the curriculum.
Is that the Netflix?
I don't think that movie's on Netflix.
I don't think so either. But it,
Oz is, but not the original.
all right.
Because some of the books I have seen recently, they say the Harry Potter wizard is a movie, is a book though too. And you say you did not like those, and so I did not bother reading them.
Harry Potter.
That's why I was asking which wizard, because there were many wizards. And there was the one with the stone and the sword wizard, and there was other wizards. That is why I was asking which wizard.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
I did not know they lived here.
Again, just a reference. Expression is my expression.
You should just say what you mean. It makes life easier.
You know what? You're right. I'm sorry. Astrid says not even wanting to have that fight right now.
So you have not been around the barony before?
No, I have not.
It's very nice barony. The beaches is very nice too. The water is cold right now. But there are warm waters not far away. Well, I don't know how far away it was. It was warm water though.
Well,
And there was an island. A very pretty island. I got to fly around it. And then I almost crashed it, but I landed.
okay then.
Astrid is just smiling and nodding.
So,
And there was a shack. Yes. We made the shack.
you
It was
made
a nice shack. Yes, we made the shack. Well, I did not make it, but it was made.
It was just a small shelter made out of like sticks and stuff. Wasn't too crazy.
all right then.
Ismay looks around awkwardly for a moment. And So what part do you want to see first?
I believe Baron Estrella was going to show me where it was.
You're here.
Yeah.
I've been to home fires, but I've not been to. Well, what, Estrella? What is your barony called?
Barony of the Red Wind.
I've not been to the barony of Red Wind. So I believe perhaps we should start with the entrance.
That definitely is a good place to start. Ashtray starts to lead them towards a lot of the some of the bigger hubs of activity around the barony. Have anything else we need to do during this scene?
I don't think so. I think the tour can be its own scene later on.
Huh?
I think the tour can be its own scene later on.
Yeah, could be. Mostly because this scene has been on for quite a bit. And
Yes, it is. And it is 12, and I would very much like to go to sleep.
Yeah, like I'm cool just cutting it here then.
All right. So, thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been a scene for the Kingdom of Apples, the Changeling venue. Have a good night.